Ladies and gentlemen, we are just a few hours away from Manchester United versus Newcastle at St. James's Park, and we have a very big test with some exciting games, but also very, very worrying games to come. We've got probably one of the most busiest schedules you could ever ask for as a football fan. PSG, Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton, Leipzig, so many big games in so little time. What can Manchester United do? And the first thing, it starts with Newcastle. So without further ado, let's talk about Newcastle. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. Today, we were going to be discussing Manchester United versus Newcastle's match prediction, where I go through every single player that I believe will be starting in the starting 11 of Manchester United and give my match prediction at the very end of the video. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below what is your score prediction and how are you feeling towards this very busy schedule for Manchester United as we enter the Champions League, as we go in the Premier League, and we need to try and get some points back to make up some ground for the teams ahead of us, and Newcastle is the way to start. Now, Newcastle is a very interesting team because I believe Newcastle are very confident coming into this game, knowing that they can beat Manchester United. They're above us at the table. They beat us last season at St. James's Park, and they're looking to redo that with a much better team in hand, might I add. And Manchester United are at the moment looking for a retribution, looking for a retaliation, and looking to strike to show that Manchester United are not dead this season. It's going to be very interesting to see which Manchester United will show up. Will we see Manchester United, the glory Manchester United, the one that has heart, the one that has soul, the one that's going to fight, and the one that's going to make sure that we do not lose the way that we lost to Tottenham ever again? Or we're going to see a Manchester United that's still unfit, that's still slow off the races, that still had a terrible start, that still has no momentum, and end up losing to Newcastle again this season, the same as we did last season. Which Manchester United is going to pop up? Now, Newcastle is by no means an easy game. Of course, we've been losing to Crystal Palace, and we lost to Tottenham, and we nearly lost to Brighton. So coming out here and saying that Newcastle is an easy game is basically just stubbornness that I don't think I can afford as a Manchester United fan at the moment. We are in for a very, very tough fight, but Manchester United must win this game, because if we start off this Premier League game with a loss going into Chelsea and Arsenal next, we could be in very, very, very grave danger of receiving no points out of this very, very busy very busy window for Manchester United in terms of Premier League and Champions League matches. So it all starts with Newcastle, and the way that we play with Newcastle will ultimately give us confidence or give us a lot more stress going into these games against PSG and Chelsea. And again, I've said all the teams again, I don't need to do that, but you know what I mean. It all starts with Newcastle. And if we beat Newcastle, we will go into a very, very long stretch with positivity. So, with that being said, Ole Solskjaer did have his press conference, and there are very interesting things that he did say. Talked about Harry Maguire, he talked about Paul Pogba, and a lot more. So I recommend you go check that press conference out yourself, and see what you think about your interpretations of this game. But it looks like we could see I really think we need to show some resolve and some fight. And I think we're going to have to see that, and we're going to need to play players that are willing to put a shift in tonight, because if they can't put a shift in, then it's basically over before it begins. And Manchester United need to work their absolute asses off. I want to see everybody giving everything on that pitch for that shirt, the shirt that they disgraced 2 weeks ago. They need to make sure that it's never disgraced again like that. Not 6-1, not with that way of performing. And it happens to the best of us. It happens to Liverpool. But again, Liverpool will be thinking the same thing. Make sure that that never ever happens again, and they're going to have to show some resolve and fight. And Manchester United need to do the same. We're a big club. We should not be getting disrespected like that. And hopefully they can do it. I'm feeling a little bit optimistic, I'm not going to lie. But going into the starting 11, let's discuss this real quick. In goal, I've gone with David De Gea. Has no reason to be dropped. I know he's conceded 6 goals, And I don't think a lot of them are his fault, if any of them are his fault. So I think David De Gea so far has actually been one of our best players, and that might be controversial. I just think that's just the way that it is. He's been one of our best players. He's made some good saves with the defense in front of him. I'm very, very surprised we didn't concede more than 6 goals. We conceded 11 goals in 3 games or something like that. It's terrible. But David De Gea did make a lot of saves in those stretches, as did Dean Henderson. So whoever does end up starting in goal, I'm not going to mind too much, but David De Gea, in my opinion, is the way to go for this game. Right back, I've gone with Aaron Wambasaka, and you saw me hesitate because I didn't want to say it, but Wambasaka has been woeful from the start of the season. Didn't play against Crystal Palace, basically played every other game from then, except for the last game, I believe, in the Carabao Cup. Diogo Dalot played that one. So overall, Aaron Wambasaka, I'm nervous, I'm not going to lie, because Aidan Wambasaka has not been in a good run of form for a very good few months now. And we've seen the best out of Aidan Wambasaka, and I think right now we're seeing the worst out of Aidan Wambasaka. So we need to find the middle ground, we need to find the balance, we need to find what he truly is as a player. And that's going to be very interesting to see. He's going to be versus a very good player in St. Maximus from Newcastle, a fantastic winger that probably Manchester United should be looking at. But unfortunately, we didn't get anybody of note. Maybe we'll wait till January to change our minds. But in saying that, look, I can't tell you with a straight face that I think Aidan Wambasaka is going to have a good game. I just don't know at the moment. And he's going to have to prove us right or wrong in that retrospect. So hopefully Wambasaka puts his boots up and realises the danger that he is in if he has another bad performance. Centre-back position, I've gone with Eric Barley first. Eric Barley's the best of the bad bunch in my opinion. And that doesn't really give him any reason to be happy about that. I mean, Manchester United's defenders are either woefully out of form or just plain garbage at the moment. And I don't know who's who, which is which, but we need to see better. And Eric Barley, in my opinion, is someone that I think we're going to need today because there's a lot of pace in that Newcastle front line that we're going to have to deal with. St. Maximus, you also have Callum Wilson, and it's very interesting. We also need someone that could win the headers just in case Andy Carroll plays with Newcastle. So it's not an easy game. This is not an easy game, and we're going to have to fight. And I think Eric Barley is a fighter, and I do think he will take us, hopefully he will battle just like every other player should be battling out there and fight for his place. Because so far, nearly no other places, maybe except for Bruno Fernandes, no other place is really secure on this team. So someone needs to make a step up, and hopefully that's Eric Barley, because we need a good defender this season. Next to him, I'll go with Victor Lindelof. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Harry Maguire, why is he not playing? Look, I could say a lot of things about Harry Maguire at the moment. He's been woeful for the start of the season. He was bad in the first games with Manchester United. He was bad for England. He got sent off for England last game. Very poor performance there. And at the moment, people are making wild accusations about his mental health. Now, look, he may very well be dealing with mental health issues. I'm sure someone that goes through that incident, it sticks with them. But until Harry Maguire comes out and says that he's dealing with mental issues, I am not going to say that Harry Maguire is exempt from being dropped or criticised. Because at the moment, if he's dealing with mental issues, I want him to come out and say it. I don't want him to be hiding in the shadows and allowing us to lead us to believe something that might not even be happening. I respect Harry Maguire, I like Harry Maguire, but I don't think anybody should be coming out and saying Harry Maguire is dealing with mental issues except for Harry Maguire. That's my personal opinion. I want Harry Maguire to come out and say that, and then we can deal with that accordingly. But at the moment, there's been no sign of Harry Maguire coming out and saying that. Maybe the interview a few months ago back with BBC is I guess an acknowledgement that he could be, but until he comes out and says it himself right now, if that's what he's dealing with, then I don't want to hear mental health. I'm sorry, because that's just a big accusation to make for a player that we just don't know. You don't know who's dealing with mental health or not. And Harry Maguire, he might be, but it's just saying it out straight and out something's bothering him, he's dealing with mental health. Unless you know him personally and he told you that, then I'm not going to believe you. I want Harry Maguire to come out and say it himself. Again, I'm going to stop talking about it because mental health is a big, big issue. And it's something that should be taken very seriously if that's the case. So I'm going to move on from that. And hopefully, if anything does happen with Harry Maguire, if he is dealing with things still, then I hope he gets the help he needs. Because at the moment, I don't think playing these many games and performing badly is helping him. And maybe a break is what he needs. Left back, I've gone with Alex Telles. I think we're gonna have a lot of possession against Newcastle, and we're gonna need an attacking force that could whip a ball in, and also could possibly do something from a set piece. So I think Alex Telles is probably the way to go here. I don't think Luke Shaw should be dropped completely. Maybe Luke Shaw plays at a left-sided centre-back position. Who really knows? But Alex Telles, in my opinion, when it comes to a team like Newcastle, I think is the perfect place to debut him. Even with a back four, I think it's a perfect place to debut him, and he might be able to do something. Again, he hasn't really trained with the team, so that's the big question mark. Will Shaw play? Because Telles hasn't really trained with us. But at the moment, Telles, he's probably fitter than most of the guys that are here. So I would say play Alex Telles and hope for the best. I do think attacking-wise, we're going to need a fullback that can actually do something on the wings. And Alex Telles is the guy to do that, in my opinion. And we'll wait and see. Now, onto the CDM position. I've picked Nemanja Matic. I think Ole's going to pick Nemanja Matic, and that's the only reason why. I think Matic is probably the safest bet, but again, no one is really excused in that CDM position. That CDM position is wide open, and I know Matic might be the best one that we have, but at the moment, it's wide open. Whoever wants to go and get it, because that's basically how I feel with that CDM position. It's just not been that great. It's not been that great, and maybe Matic is the one to save that. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's Fred. Who really knows? In the other midfield position, I've gone with Donny van de Beek. I think Paul Pogba should be benched for this game, rested, because at the end of the day, I think France's coach said that Paul Pogba basically is only just starting to get fit. And the fact is, if someone's coming out and saying that, that means that Pogba was never fit from the start. So if that's the case, I think either you play him a lot, or you bench him and you allow him to get a little bit of rest and then play him in the Champions League. So it's basically up to the manager what he decides here. I think Van de Beek is more than deserving enough to have a start in this game. And I think we need to start creating different sorts of lineups so we can see what works best for us. Because Pogba might be the answer in some games, but in other games he just might not be the answer. And Donny van de Beek deserves the chance to find out if he's the right player to put in Manchester United's midfield and work well or not. He deserves the chance, at least. All I'm saying, he deserves the chance. And of course, at the cam position, I've gone with Bruno Fernandes. Pretty straightforward. Bruno Fernandes did not have any issues with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it's good to see. And now that he's going to be in the lineup and he wants to fight, and I think he's ready, and I hope he can actually perform. I hope he can perform. I hope he's the one that creates the free kick, that scores the penalty, that scores an open goal, whatever it is. I hope Bruno Fernandes can be the one to set us free, because we have some very difficulties up front. And we're going to be discussing them right now. The wingers. So, on the right wing, I've gone with Mason Greenwood. No real issues there. Mason Greenwood should be playing. He's one of the best attacking forces that we have at the moment at our display, and he should definitely be there in order to provide. I think he scored a goal against Newcastle. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he might have the confidence to go and do it again. And I think he won an award recently, or he was part of a contention for an award, so that could boost his confidence as well. Mason Greenwood is the way to go, in my opinion. Left wing, I've gone with Daniel James. Now, Daniel James performs best on the left wing, but I do think Manchester United and Daniel James just don't seem to be working out at the moment. So maybe this game can help give Daniel James a confidence booster, or help us identify his issues, because we know his issues on the right, and we've barely seen him play on the left, but sometimes he doesn't even show up on the left as well. So I hope Daniel James just performs. All I can say is, Daniel James, perform. Do something. Make us believe that you're still capable of performing at Manchester United's level. It's only been 2 years, and there could still very well be a future for Daniel James, but the more bad performances that we see from him, the more people don't believe in him. And I do think we need to believe in Daniel James, but he has to make us do that, so hopefully he can. And at the striker position, I've gone with Marcus Rashford. Pretty simple. No Anthony Martial. Cavani has to self-isolate in Manchester, so we're not going to have many options up front. And I do think substitutions won't really be attacking based. We might see Jesse Lingard play this game as well, keeping that in mind as well. But Marcus Rashford will be up front. I think he's the most confident out of all the attackers at the moment. He scored a penalty for England. He scored for England. So hopefully he takes that confidence back to Manchester. He was performing well for Manchester, and we need him to fight just like everybody else. And I do believe we need a fighter up front, and Rashford, is the one to do that. And that is the starting 11, and my prediction for this game You ready for this? 1-0 to Manchester United. I think we're going to win 1-0. I think we're going to have a lot of the ball, and I do think we're going to score fairly late, and I don't think Newcastle will do much in terms of the offensive ends. But again, I've been wrong before, and I'll probably be wrong again. I don't think this game's going to have that many goals in there. I think Manchester United are going to be very desperate to play very defensive when we don't have the ball. I think they're going to put all their attention on the defense. We might even play 3-5-2. Who really knows? The fact is, Manchester United will not be conceding 6 goals again, and if we do, it's a big sign that things need to change. So I think we're going to put all of our eggs in the defense. So I don't think Newcastle will score that many goals. If any goals, I think we can steal a goal on the other side of it. But that is the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments below your match prediction. And are you confident for the schedule that Manchester United ahead? And are you excited? I think as a football fans, when you see the big teams, you get excited. Whether you suck or not, you're excited to verse the big teams. And we're versing a bunch of big teams coming forward. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in another Man United video. Take care and peace.